Good afternoon. It's Janet from JRK Handcrafted. I've been busy. It's July 2020, but I have been busy trying to create some Christmas mini albums in anticipation of the upcoming season, and thought that if I had them done earlier, folks could start putting some of their pictures in right away. Some people like to do, the 12 days of Christmas. Some people like to have certainly some pictures about baking and preparing, visiting. So, if you have the album early, then you can start to create and fill it right away, and it gives you an opportunity to get one of those things marked off your shopping list as well. So this particular mini album is created mostly with red cardstock. That's our base color. It's called the Happy Holidays Mini. It measures 9 inches wide by 6.5 high, and the spine is 3 inches wide. So on the front, I have this really cool train. Now I made this and there's another album on my site that I made, and I used the Craft Smart paper pack called I think it's called Save Freeze from Craft Smart, and has some really nice rich colors in it. The true reds, the true Christmas greens, a little bit of taupe or sand color, craft color like here, to kind of accent, as well as the whites. And I've also accented it with some ephemera pieces and some ephemera cards that I've gotten from various other different collections. So it's a combination of a few things. So I've taken the Happy Holidays from one of the pieces of the pattern paper. This Polar Express is from another, and I've just basically put just some little presents in here. They're just there just to kind of give it some interest. They don't do anything other than, now if you want to put your kids' names on there or something on there, that would be awesome. Anyways, and then down here it just says believe in the magic. The spine itself has just again the pattern paper plus this little sticker that I put on the back, and then the back is the red poinsettias on the black background. The album is held closed with a double ribbon to look like rickrack, basically. So both red and green are incorporated into the album closure. The album itself, if you look at it from the top, you've got plenty of space for expansion. Hence the ribbon at this point is just, it may be, well, you may want to cut it or you may not for ease of putting it together. As you can see, we've got 5 pages in this book. So let's get in. Let's look at the inside here. By the way, this album will hold, just with the designated areas, and we'll talk about that when we get into the album, 112 photos. So certainly holidays, we're always snapping pictures. So it'll hold 34 by 6, 21 4x4s, 32 3x4s, 11 2x3s, 6 2x2s, and 12 3x3s. Don't go, oh my gosh, I don't print my photos that way, or I can't get them to be that size. Really, really simple. There's lots of times, and I'll show you some examples as we go through, where there tends to be a lot of noise in the background of our photos. Could be trees, could be somebody that kind of popped in on the photo, didn't realize they were in the picture, and you want to cut them out. So we'll go through and see, how those photos fit in the album, and how easy it is to kind of crop them down when we don't have areas that are 4x6. Anyway, so let's get in. Okay, so the front cover is pretty simple here. It's got a magnet closure with this cute little present at the top, which actually holds a magnet. It opens up this way, and then we have a waterfall. Now this waterfall goes sideways. And again, when I said that it would hold 112 photos, if you want to put a photo on this pattern paper, you just added another one. If you want to do so here, you've added another one. And the same here. You may not want to cover up the present, so you may want to make it a 4x4. For instance, yeah, so I've got a 4x4 here. So if you were to put a 4x4 picture there, you know, you don't cover up the really cute present, but you do have room for that. Now I do have a 4x6 here. Now they're both landscape, so, but you could, now that would completely cover up that pattern paper, but, and you would certainly want to be portrait. Obviously landscape wouldn't work for you, but anyway, then this closes up and that's magnetized. Now, if you wanted to put, maybe you're giving this as a gift and it's to the Anderson family, you might want to put Anderson in there for the name of the folks that are going to be putting their pictures in there. Okay, let's go to the front of the first page. Okay, this has a magnet, has this cool little tab here that you can push, has these cute little snowman and whatever. Anyways, this opens this way, so you have room for a 4x6. You have room for two 3x4s, or sorry, a 3x4 and a 4x4. So these, this is copy paper right here, and all you would do is just pull that off. It doesn't take any of the paper off. It's removable glue stick that I use. So in this case, and again, these are not Christmas photos, but in this case you would have a 4x6. I don't have a 3x4 that is in portrait, but, and a 4x4. So this would basically be the layout of your photos. So again, you would remove the white and lay down your photos, and they would automatically be trimmed with the accent red. Okay, this folds up, this closes with the magnet. This then opens up here, and on this side you have two pockets, and there's room for in each of them for a 3x4. And you just slide back down in. And then this, and this accented a lot of places with this red and white or green and white stripe, which really kind of flows throughout the album to give it some consistency. And then this one opens this way. I'll just scooch this over here. So you've got room for a 4x6 and two 3x4s, but then it opens up again, room for another 4x6, and then in here you've got a belly band with room for two 3x4s, and you have a little bumper down here just to keep them in place once you put your photos on and zip them back in there. And then that closes up with a magnet. And then on this side you've got, give me one sec here, I'll move this across. So on this side you've got room for a 3x3, a 3x4, up here 3x4 and 3x4. And this pocket basically holds these two pieces down. Now, if you wanted to, you've got lots of space up here. You've got lots of space up here for another photo. So you could put, I don't think it would be exact room for a 4x4, but you could put a 3x4 there, which would be great. Okay, that closes up. These go in to keep that tidy. And then on this side, you have a photo mount, which was room for 4x6. Again, you could put some journaling here if you like, which might talk about kind of what's happening in this whole spread. And this closes up. Yep. Okay, and then on this next page, you have a 4x6, which pulls out here, which is basically your stopper from what's behind it from opening. So this is a 6x6, and I've basically framed it out so you could put your 4x6, let me grab my, or 4x4 photo in here. So you would remove the white and then just slide your 4x4 in there. So originally, let's look at a 4x6 here. So in this 4x6, and again, it's obviously, well, maybe you would have lobster for Christmas. You don't necessarily need this here. So if you were to place this down here, you could go, you know what, I don't I only need a 4x4. It's already 4 this wide. So you would just cut off a little bit there, cut off a little bit there, and you'd have this as your 4x4. So the 4x6 cutting down to a 4x4 are pretty easy. You're just kind of, you know, hacking off an inch on either side or 2 inches off one side, depending on where the noise is that you want to get rid of. Anyway, so that goes in there, and then that's holding this flap down, which has room for the 4x4, again, which is also in your picture, there and here. So I think 4x4 is a really nice size. It's not difficult to crop your pictures down using the 4x4, just because it already is 4 inches in one way or another. And then that just slides in there to keep that cozy and tight. Okay, over here you've got just an insertion point. I loved this little snowman, so I didn't take away from that at all on the paper. You could put some journaling up here. You could do something up here. But this little tuck spot basically holds a 3x4 and a 3x3. And they just slide in there like so. And then this opens up. And you've got room for 2 3x3s and a 2x3. So I don't have a 2x3 that is landscape. Mine are portrait. But again, when I crop this, all I did was look at the outside and say, you know what, there was a bunch of more of the house over here and a whole bunch up here. So basically, I just kind of cropped it. Now, sometimes if folks order an album or buy an album, what I can do is out of a piece of acetate, I will cut a 2x3, a 3x3, a 3x4. And then that way with the acetate, you can just hover it right over top of your photo. So for instance, say we were cutting this down to a 2x3. Now, if this was acetate that you could see through, let me see. You could maybe put it like that. Now you would see what's behind it, and you could just hold it there and cut around it. And then that would give you your perfect 2x3. These photos are kind of old. They got fingerprints on them. But anyway, cropping them down is not really an issue. And it actually adds a lot of interest to your mini album. You don't want to be just looking at a whole bunch of 4x6s with a bunch of junk in the background that's distracting from your focal point. You want to kind of zoom in on those important ones. Now, this particular picture had somebody's arm and their foot because they were pulling the wagon. So, you know, you take that off. So now all you're really seeing is the two little kids in the wagon. That's my grandkids, by the way. So, yeah, and it gives you a much more interesting spread as you're going through. Okay, so these two tabs are attached. You've got your 3x3s here. This pops down. You've got lots of room down here for, can you see that? Yeah, lots of room down here for a photo. Now, there is a magnet in here, so you don't want to put too much in there or else it won't hold closed. But if you were to put 2 3x4s here, it would be perfect. Now, well, maybe not maybe if you wanted to put 2 2x3s in there. Actually, I have another one here. That would be perfect. Okay. And again, this album already holds a significant amount of photos. So, you know, maybe you just soon look at the nice paper and that's fine. Okay. And you got room here for a 4x6. And right here, you can see the little scallop in there. And then this one up here is just in there. You could put just some plain pictures in here. You wouldn't even have to mat them. You could just, you know, tuck them inside. And I can't recall. Let me just check here. I think... Yes. Oh, yeah. So this goes all the way down. So, you know, you could put some 4x6s in there as well. In that pocket. Okay. Then this closes up and this closes up and you're done with that one. Okay. Now, you can tell I adored the snowman. So this little piece, the ribbon is holding this closed. You would just untie the ribbon and then this opens up. Again, it's nice and plain over here. So you could certainly do some journaling here. Would be great. You could use either a white gel pen or gold or silver, black. And then here, this is holding a waterfall. Now, I have not put pattern paper in here. I've made this all about the photos. So again, you would put all your photos in there, and then that's magnetized. But this also lifts up, and you've got room for a 4x6 there, and you've got this really cool picture mat there, which will hold a 4x6. And again, these pockets will hold more than a 4x6 sometimes. You can put more than one. Again, it's pretty close to 100 photos as it is, so that may not be, you may not need to do that. But just to know that you can if, you really get shutter happy. Okay. So this side, again, we've got the beautiful accent of the red and white and the green and white stripes. These are pockets, and in each of the pockets, this one has room for a 2x3. And this one as well. Now, I have the 2x3 going this way. There'd be nothing to say that you couldn't put the 2x3 this way. I don't think the orientation really matters on either of these two. Okay, and then this opens this way, and you've got room for 3x4 and a 4x4, and you've got the same tags here in these same pockets, and they've got this nice little scalloped edge here, so it looks really, really cute. And then this opens up, and you have room, so these basically kind of mimic each other, where you've got the 3x4 and the 4x4. And then in the center, you've got a nice pocket with a bow that kind of comes up over top the pocket here. It sticks out. And you've got this postcard from Santa, room for a 4x6. And then you've got these really cool 2x2s. Now, some people who have the selfies and some of the smaller printers, 2x2s, and it's one thing I don't have here. 2x2s are really cute. It can be just two people in there, just their faces. Could be something, a gift you got for Christmas that you took a real close-up of it and you wanted to put it in there. It could be anything. So the 2x2s are always fun. Okay, this closes up, and this closes up, and is magnetized. All right, let's carry on. Okay, this side, again, we have a flap, which is held down by these two photo mats, which hold 3x4s. This flips up. Okay, so you have room for a 4x4 and a 3x4 here. And then this flips down. So again, a 3x3 and a 3x4 down here. And then in the middle, sorry to keep moving you around there, in the middle here, you've got room for two 3x4s, but then these open up for room for 4x4, and then they open up again. So your opportunities for photos is, and then look, you've got this whole big piece here that's just nice and plain and waiting for something to go on there. Now you could put, and I'm just going to measure this. Yeah, it's room for, you could put a 5x7 in there. So you certainly have an opportunity to use, and that's not even without cropping. You could put that in. Okay, so that goes like that. This comes down. Whoops, sorry. This goes up, this comes down. And to hold all that goodness in there, we have this nice pocket at the bottom. Okay. Now, this one was a challenge. I went to do this page, and I thought, oh, I'd like to hold it down with a magnet. And, of course, I decided to use this wonderful Christmas ornament. Then had to, oh, yeah, right, I've got to kind of cut around it and mat it properly. But it all worked out in the end. Again, we see our red and white stripes here. This is magnetized to hold this flap closed. So we open this up. And on this side, I've just basically cut into the paper right here. So you just lift that up and slide this in. And this is a booklet. So it holds two 4x4s. Okay, so that goes in there. So that's a pretty plain page there. And then over here, again, when I open this, now we've got room for a 2x3, which would be really cool right there. And then when you open it, we've got room for another 2x3. And excuse me, these pictures are not in the right orientation, but then on this side, you have room for a 3x4 and a 3x4 on the back and another 3x4 here. I don't have another, but we'll skip that. And then we go to a 4x4. So we're graduating all the way up here in size. So these would all kind of go like that. And then on the very back, we have room for a 4x6. And look at this. All kinds of space here. you can do whatever you like there. So that's if you choose. I really liked that paper. I thought it was gorgeous, with the birds and whatever on it. So I didn't really want to cover it. But if you find that you need some extra room for that, then that's fine. So then this just closes up. And again, this, because this pattern paper had some of the ornaments on it, I thought it would be perfect to put an ornament on the front as part of the closure. Okay, and we're opening this again. Okay, we're on to the 5th page. Oh, sorry, my bad. We're on to the 4th page, back of the 4th page. We have a nice little Christmas countdown. So this would be handy just to pull out and put your X's across as a month goes on. And you have room for a 4x4 photo. Again, this holds the flap down. And you've got room for a 4x6 photo up here. And then this flap comes down again. So you've got room for another 4x6 here. And then here you've got 2 tags for 4x4 and a 2x3 and 4x4. And then that just goes up, that goes down, and this just slides into this pocket at the bottom. The colors are so nice and rich in this, and true Christmassy. I know I have some paper that has pinks in it and dusty blue, but nothing says Christmas like green and red. Okay, so on this side, this is just basically two stacked pockets. So these pull out, so you can see where the pockets are with here. And I've got this cool little nutcracker here. He's pretty awesome. So the back mat has room for 2 3x3s and then 2 3x4s on the back. And then that just slides in here. It goes all the way down, so this pocket goes all the way to there. And then this one has room for a 3x4 and a 4x4. And this just slides down in there too. So pretty simple page, pretty clean, pretty nice. Okay, we're coming to the end here. So here, this is so playful. I mean, between that and the trucks and everything else, it's just such a fun album. This is magnetized, this flap. So it opens up, and you have room for a 4x6 here. It opens down, and you have room for 4x6, 2 3x4s, but then it opens this way. So you have room for 4x6, 2 3x4s, and it opens again. So you get all your 4x6s here. Again, you could put 2 3x4s, and again, I only have 1, but there'd be no reason why you couldn't if you had 2 3x4s, if that's what what you decided to do. Just looking to see if I had anything else that had that was a 4x6. I don't. Anyway, you can make this into two 4x3s if you wanted to here. Okay, so then that closes up, that closes up, that closes up, and that closes up, and then you're done, and it's nice and clean. And on the very back page here, we've got kind of a bit of an envelope style. We have this little booklet, which holds 2 3x3s. And then we've got this little booklet, which holds 2 2x2s. So those are pretty awesome. And then this opens kind of up envelope style and goes up, and it has this really cool candy cane up here. And then in here, these are actually, this isn't an actual pocket that goes all the way across. It actually holds 2 tags. And this one holds a 3x3. And this just slides down inside. And you could put something on here too. So just because I don't have a designated area specified for you, doesn't mean that you can't do something with that. And this one, room for a 3x4. And then that just slides back down in there. And then this closes up. And again, I don't know if I would put anything on these trucks, but or on this truck scene. I kind of like it the way it is, but and then these just slide back in, and then we're done. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. If you have any questions, please put them on my website. I'm hoping to have this listed up to jrkhandcrafted.com within the next couple of days, so keep an eye open for it. And like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a note. My email address and contact information is on the site, so you certainly can do that. I will probably be posting some photos up on Instagram as well. So enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for sharing this with me, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye.